Hey, Beth. Can you hear Beth?
Cannot hear Beth.
Cannot hear Beth. Oh, audio's connecting.
She's connecting again.
There we are.
Yay, we're here.
Woo!
Hey, buddy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Super good.
Good. Nice to see your faces.
I know, it is good to see faces, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels a little bit social. It's nice.
Yeah, I know.
Decent socials, you know?
Cheers.
Yeah, me too. Rocking the
Hey.
backyards actually tonight.
Aw, Jacob.
I know.
So we're stoked to have you here.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you here, Beth. I feel like
great.
So many cool things that you could be featured here every month.
Oh man, I feel like I just want to talk to you guys about so much stuff all the time. So this is a chance to do that, you know?
Definitely do that more for sure, because we all collectively are massive fans of so much of the work you do, but you've had a special project that's been near and dear to your heart that we're excited for you to tell people about.
Sure. I don't know where to start. Where should I start?
Well, I mean, give a little background of who Beth is.
Okay, sure. So I'm Nova Scotian salty girl. Grew up being around beaches and sailing, and discovered that a surfboard and being on a surfboard was very much like being on the ocean sailing, except that I could do it on my own terms whenever I wanted. And it was a lot less costly. So I found surfing, and it kind of fulfilled that same thing for me, which is intensely personal and it's very much my safe place. So surfing has always been, very, very much like a religion for me, like a place where I go. And then, you get in the flow of surfing, and it's also really, really fun. And the North Preston surf program came at a time in my life where I found myself in a position to be able to facilitate programming. And also when I guess became aware of the fact that like a lot of people around me were white, and that there were a lot of very specific reasons that was the case. And so once I started delving into that, it was like I couldn't go back. Like I couldn't unlearn. I couldn't not see what I was all of a sudden seeing. I just use the word unlearn though, which is like a big part of the whole thing for me, was like unlearning. Anyway, I could go on, but I won't. I'm going to follow this slide that I made. So we started in 2019, but actually like most of the synthesis for the idea and like the gathering of the people and the bringing together of the people that were needed to make the program happen started before that in 2018. So, once we started asking the question, like, why is there a lack of participation of people of color and BIPOC in surfing? We started coming up with and hearing all of these different reasons. And then the approach was very much about finding connection and finding relationship with people in the communities, and not just saying like, hey, we want to do a surf program. We've noticed that there aren't any Black surfers. It was more like, hey, do you want to be my friend? And then also, how do you feel about surfing? And do you want to go surfing? And then, so Lamia and we went surfing together, and I took her surfing, and that was a new experience for her. And then she took it back to her community and she told people about it. And then they were like, yeah, we want to surf. So then, it was born out of a group of people saying, we want this, versus like, us going in and giving them something they didn't necessarily miss in their lives. So then we also realized that a big part of the reason the participation of people of African descent in surfing was lower was because of swimming, because of this deep inherent multi-generational fear of the water. And so when we started there, we started with swimming lessons. And so we made it all ages so that adults could join and they could come and they could do swimming lessons. And then, as we started to grow, we reached out to Communities, Culture, and Heritage. We accessed some funding. And then from there, we amassed like participants from different communities, volunteers. Basically, we brought together this entire community of people who were all interested in being part of this, I'm going to say movement, or like, social change, which was basically people surfing together who all look very different. So then, we had about 85 participants the first year. And then this past year in 2020, also interrupt me at any time. I think because there was not a lot going on and there weren't programs available, and particularly in the community of North Preston and probably other Black communities, there was really nothing going on. Like there were no organized programs for anybody. And so it really drew people to the beach. And we say 108 participants, but that's like a participant might come with 3 siblings, 2 parents, some grandparents, an auntie, or what have you. And so it ended up being like a lot more people than that, just coming to the beach for the first time and feeling welcome at the beach and feeling comfortable, and like they could come to the beach and see Black people at the beach, and so what that created was this open space and this open community. And I think what I put in the slide was the impact was visible and tangible. And that relates to the fact that like any other day in the summer, you could go to the beach and you would kind of see more Black people there than you'd ever seen before. And I think that is a direct result of this program, which is really, really awesome. And in conclusion, I think for me, I took something surfing and I used it as, I guess, a vehicle for social change, or like a thing that I could do. Like, hey, I have these tools in front of me right now. I have this community. I have some expertise. I can share this. And I think, if there's a takeaway for anybody looking at this, it's that like, whatever you have, whatever you do, whatever you feel passionate about, you can make friends who don't look like you or who aren't like you, and you can invite them to play with you. And when you play, you're free in a way to create and connect that you're not when you're doing anything else in your life. And so, whatever your play is, whatever your platform is, like, I just think it's the most beautiful way to connect people and communities. So these are 3 of the, I'd say, most instrumental people in the making of North Preston Surf. There's so many, but this is also just a nice slide that Marie made at Mirror Image Media. So we've got Lamia on the left, who is my connection in North Preston, who is like a mobilizer of youth. Darrell in the middle, who's a surfer, who's from Dartmouth, who grew up as a competitive swimmer. And then Rachel on the right, who hails from New Brunswick, but discovered surfing on a trip to Costa Rica and has been really dedicated to surfing and recently moved to Seaforth. So she just had a baby. So those are some of the peeps.
Beth, I wonder, if you could share a story. Like, is there a moment that really ripped out for you throughout the last couple summers that, really kind of maybe satisfied what vision you had for the program?
Sure. I mean, there's so many. I won't use a name, but I'll just say that like there is one woman in particular who was very afraid of the water, who didn't swim. She didn't like to go past her knees. And so she came out because her granddaughter was participating in the program. And the first week she got in the water up to her knees, and it was like, we could see it on her, like just the worry for her own granddaughter, like watching her, really tense. And then the next week she got in the water like a little further. And then we got her to put on a wetsuit. And then she went like holding somebody's hand, like clutching another human, like walked into the water and then like floated on her back. And then the next week she's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on the surfboard. And one of the barriers for her was her hair, because she had this, this hair that it was a lot to maintain this hair. And so she put like this head wrap on. It was very elaborate, and it was, there was anxiety there, but then, not fully trusting the water yet. But she got on a surfboard and she caught a wave, and like her face is etched into my mind forever. Just like the feeling of joy. And the fact that she trusted me and us with that, just meant so much to me. So that was a really great thing. And also I had these 3 little girls this summer who entered in the surf contest. So I had these 3 little girls from the program who then got their dad to sign them up for the first kids contest that ever happened at Martinique Beach. And so that was another thing. That was history. And these girls I had driven to the beach all summer. I'd go and pick them up and take them to the beach, and they show me their TikTok dances on the way to the beach, and they became little surfers, and then they went in a contest. So, that's 2 stories, but those are some top favorites for sure.
What's next? What's 2021 going to look like for the programs you guys are offering?
Yeah, great question. So we have a bit of a gear library now. We have boards and a lot of wetsuits, and we're giving away the wetsuits. We've been doing that kind of all year, and then we're hoping to do kind of a bubble format, which will mean like smaller groups, so groups of 5. So, excuse me. Cheers. One of the barriers, I'll say, is transportation. So by making it 5 people, they can go in one car. We can fit enough gear for 5 people. We have enough gear. We have, 5 surfboards now. So we'll do some kind of structured program where people kind of learn in these smaller groups. And then we're hoping that because we're taking it down to a smaller number, we can do other kinds of things like ocean education, go to some different beaches, kind of expand some of the boundaries of last year with these smaller numbers. Yeah.
So before we let you go, Beth, and thank you, from all of us, it is so important. And, people should also know that, while this program is incredible, you wear a lot of hats in the surf community and in the outdoor community. All your work with the Surf Association as well, you might want to mention really quickly too.
Sure. Yeah. So, I'm the president of SANS right now, which means that, I basically oversee this organization whose mandate is to promote like a sustainable, friendly, growing surf culture in Nova Scotia. And so we do all kinds of things. We run contests, of course. We do environmentally focused events, sustainability focused events, and then we've done like the Unamagi surf program, which is, I think 8 or 9 years running now up in Cape Breton with the 5 First Nations communities and youth from there. And we've recently become a provincial sport organization. And so that's brought with it like safe sport training and women's coaching opportunities and all of these different areas that we can advance in. And it's been really amazing. It's all volunteer. And so, that's hard. And a lot of people don't have time for that, but just the amazing people that I've met and the connections that I've made have been, just really, really satisfying and amazing. So.
Well, you're amazing, and it's always a pleasure to see you. And I hope when the opportunity presents itself that we can have a longer conversation, because I think there's lots of things that you do that we'd love to hear more about. Guys,
thanks, Jan.
Well, thank you, Beth, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Yeah, awesome. And before we go, we are going to play a little video. Hopefully it works out. It's only about a minute long, from a paddle out that you guys organized last year, or that was organized. 2020 was a lot of things, as we all know, but it also brought about a lot of change in the way that I think everyone looked in the mirror a little bit harder and looked around and thought, what can we do to be better, and not be silent. And that was really evident with this program over the last couple of years. But can you introduce this video that we're going to play with the Black Lives Matter paddle out? Sure.
So with the murder of George Floyd, I think it sparked a whole new kind of motivation for our new surf community, which is North Preston Surf, to kind of take a stand, show people what we were doing together, and bring people together in a very peaceful yet very profound way. And so, yeah, this was like the quickest event we've ever organized. So we've spent weeks on events before, and we spent days on this one, and it was definitely drew the highest number of people and had the most sort of like global impact of anything we'd done to date. And to be there, I know you were there, was just, I don't know if we'll ever experience anything quite that significant again. It was really, really amazing.
It was very amazing. I felt very lucky to have been there and to have witnessed the power of that moment. But it was also beautifully captured by Megan and Marie at Mirror Image Media. I'm going to play the video, but can this video be seen anywhere? Just because I know it's probably not going to play perfectly here.
Yeah, it's on Vimeo. There's a Vimeo link, I think, that we could share easily.
Okay, we'll share that. And if not, you can look up Mirror Image Media and find that on Vimeo. And without further ado, I'm going to play the video. Hopefully. Come on, technology. All right.
So today we stand here in solidarity against racism. For those that were, for those that are, and for those that will continually be racially oppressed. We sat at home in 2020 with clear vision, and we witnessed the system that lynched George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery, and now Chantel Moore. So rise and stand and shout, but do anything but be silent. So as we paddle today, I ask you that with each stroke and with each breath, that you exhale whatever's been holding you back. It's time to take a stand and rise in solidarity. It's time to use your breath for those that no longer have the privilege to draw breath.
Ooh, man. When's Darrell gonna? When's he gonna be our prime minister?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
He's got my vote.
He is a great guy. Takes beautiful photos too. If you're looking for some inspiration on Instagram, great photographer.
Yeah, uses film, I think.
A lot of times, yeah. Recently married, just a guy going in the right direction. We should all do our best to follow along because he's going great places. It wouldn't be surprised at all if he was prime minister.
The kids call him Aquaman.
I get it. Well, Beth, thank you once again. We'll see you on the water very soon. Hopefully, in the meantime, keep being awesome, and we'll talk soon, eh?
Thanks so much, you guys. It's been really nice.
Thanks, Beth.
Thanks.